Okay, yeah, so to reiterate, actually, yeah, if somebody can add on the agenda, like, maybe shop around the SIG testing talk once it is, on YouTube. Uh, yeah, so, any particular questions about rework of test grid?
So my understanding was test grid, the UI is basically a source code that Google owns, which is not going to be open sourced. So the project is looking for somebody that can do front end engineering, build a new UI basically.
That would be greatly appreciated. So basically what to not get into anything too specific because there is still some planning going on. Let's say that it is up in the air how much time there is for contributing right now on like the people who have traditionally contributed, including me. I am setting aside some time, but that is also being like a little bit difficult. And I want to contribute that towards SIG testing in general, even though realistically, I think some of that is going to go to test grid first, because that's my area of expertise. In short, yeah. Progress on like the UI stuff has been stalled because it's not a priority currently. So we don't have time allocated to work on it. Is the short of it. The time allocated to work on it is like me when I am carving out some time, and I haven't been able to carve out a lot of it recently. I'm going to try to do better about that starting next year, making this a more formal like project for myself. But yeah, in short, like I think especially for finishing out some of the UI stuff, I can help a lot on setting direction for that. Somebody who has more knowledge, especially than me, who is like not really a front end engineer on front end engineering would be helpful, but also just people who are interested and willing to like contribute some stuff, I would be happy to help along.
Yeah, sounds good. So, I mean, the idea would be to solicit for somebody who knows how to build the UIs, right? Yeah, and then when they turn up, you can tell them what to do and how to make it work.
I think so,
And
yeah.
then
I
in a quarter or two, we can see what that looks like and if we're ready to replace the thing.
yeah, I think part of this also is like this is the thing I maybe should propose for gathering opinions for next time, but like I'm interested in what priorities people have for SIG testing, like what things that we should be tackling more. Because I know that people have like their projects, but I also feel like I don't as well know all of the things that we can point people to contribute to for SIG testing. Just generally that it's like I know we have some areas that aren't really owned. I know some areas are important for the project, but like in terms of more specific projects, I would like to outline a few that like people can more long term help staff. So
I agree. I think that's missing right now because there's a lot of leads and everybody's got their own thing that they're driving, right?
yeah,
Let's say five people turn up this afternoon and said, "Hey, we're looking for some work to do. Can we point them to somewhere, or are we going to be like, I'll get back to you next week?"
yeah, exactly. I think it would be take a look at all of the open issues and then kind of more of self-set direction, which I think is less of a like great thing for um growing things more sustainably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh sorry, Rookie, you have a hand.
Oh no, you're fine. Back to the test grid kind of rework and improvement. Is the intent for that to keep it under the Google Cloud repository, or is there a thought or plan to move it under like SIG testing or some kind of um, more Kubernetes projects organization?
That is up for debate right now. So I don't have strong opinions at the moment. But I would be happy to hear them and I can help try and make a case for it. Like but there's always a realistic of like nothing is stopping us from like forking it and moving it to Kubernetes or anything. I don't know if there's like strong reasons for one or the other in particular. Currently I think like so currently we make use of the external code internally as well. That's I think the main reason that it is in Google Cloud Platform in the first place when it was open source. For now, because circumstances changed, I honestly do not know what makes sense for that. But if it if there are benefits for it being under Kubernetes, of which I can imagine there are a few, I think those would be good to outline, and I would be happy to also circle some of those internally.
Okay, well, what would be kind of the best way to outline or raise maybe some of those benefits or concerns?
I think a doc starting with that, say like it doesn't have to be a formal design doc with all of the like fleshed out aspects of it, but like just a doc that we can like circle on the mailing list or here. And I can also like share with anybody who's an appropriate audience internally.
Okay. Cool, thanks.
I mean, the main benefit of doing that is just a greater visibility in the open source community, particularly people that can help you. Because like right now, it lives in the Google Cloud Platform org, and it's like that looks like a single vendor thing. No one really cares about it.
Right.
The audience here, right? But
Well,
it
also
is
I
a
know
critical component of a project, right? So yeah,
it's
I
very
can do that.
critical for test debugging and the release process. I mean, there's offhand I can think of a couple kind of areas within the Kubernetes org that are maybe not reliant but heavily dependent on uh, test grid.
Yeah, no, I think it makes sense. I think the main thing is just like I want to avoid accidentally splitting efforts. So I also would need to like I want to double check with anybody that it's like it's not going to be a problem if it suddenly moves repos.
Certainly,
Again,
yeah.
I think its current location is mainly because of the open sourcing process that we went through, or like it makes sense for it to be owned there. But yeah, I think with current direction that might make sense to like propose that, and then like I don't know if that would happen immediately, but like I think that might be a good direction to point to. So if somebody else is willing to start a doc, like I would also be willing to do this, but frankly I have a limited bandwidth right now for doing this immediately. So
Yeah, I can put something initially together. I'll probably run it by SIG release as well, since again I think outside of testing, release is probably the next
okay.
biggest
This might also be
of test grid.
yeah, this might be a good because like the prow code is also splitting out as well. This might be a good time to talk about like they are related, having both of them like
Yeah.
as important things for SIG testing Kubernetes and whatnot in general, I think makes sense. And I think the case is pretty clear there.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. I think in terms of like usual spiel, the hey folks, I think I started everybody here before, but if there's anybody who late wants to unmute and give a quick intro for themselves, feel free to. Otherwise, I think we've just been informally discussing stuff that wasn't like previously on the agenda, but feel free to bring up any topics that we can discuss. One thing that I think would be interesting because I wasn't able to attend this year, and I think we briefly touched on it, but if anybody is interested, or sorry, if anybody has any like post KubeCon topics to like surface or like stuff that you noticed or we should take more of a look at, I think that would be great to hear. Or if anybody just wants to talk about how KubeCon was.
I thought it was great. I think the update that Muhammad gave was really good, and there was also the SIG testing shout out during the keynotes. I think on day 2. I don't know if there's any way to see if there's any kind of like engagement from the community that comes out of those kind of like highlights. That'd be interesting. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I agree. I have no idea if that's trackable, but
There, all I know is there was a QR code for SIG testing up on the main stage for about 2 seconds.
yeah, that was fun. The the people who do the editing for that to add in like the extra info was very nice, because yeah, I certainly do not know how to do that.
Oh yeah, so this time around, the project updates, one of the ambassadors edited all the videos, right? Or edited the entire thing, and it was really good.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's like either that or like a team of a few people, but like, yeah. I think I got the confirmation from one person to be just like check over and make sure that it looks good, and definitely a lot better than like the raw footage I sent in. Cool. Anybody else? QCon experiences or things to bring up? All right. If there's something else, I think we can go ahead and call it. But yeah, thanks everybody. I think like mentioned, I'll post this on the Slack as well, but like if we want to start thinking about like some larger projects to point contributors at, or areas where we like really need to grow contributions in more over time, I think that might be a good direction to set us for like next year. So I'll post the thing on Slack to remind, and like maybe we can add that to the agenda for next time to kind of like collate a list of stuff. Yeah. All right. Thanks everyone. Have a good rest of the day.
Right.
Thanks.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.